A monkeypox dashboard on how cases increase across the DMV. And rust on the track, how a Metro emergency drill was delayed by a real-world situation. And later, back to school, how one county welcomed their students into the classroom. But first, a check on your forecast.
Well, it's just been one of those evenings. We have spotty showers popping up across the board. A few of them are heavy downpours as well. So we're tracking here in the local Ford Weather Center when and where those storms may impact your evening commute and when things might dry out again. That's all coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thank you for joining us for DC News at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Rust on the rails. Everybody's ready for this Silver Line extension to finally reopen. But today, during a safety exercise, Metro officials saw firsthand how those real-life exercises can reveal some real-life issues. Now, over the first 100 responders spent their day at the Ashburn Metro station simulating a real-life emergency and what they would do if a train was stranded right outside of the station. And we quickly learned that why these types of drills need to happen. This was all supposed to start at 8 a.m. Instead, it was delayed for several hours. The train tracks for the Metro Silver Line extension have been up for years, but with no passenger service yet, and some of the tracks have been rusted over. DC News Now spoke to officials who were in charge with these types of exercises, and they told us that once trains run more regularly on the Silver Line, the rust won't be a problem, including the much anticipated stop at Dulles International. But before they all open, which Metro says will happen sometime later this year, you can expect to see even more of these safety exercises. We're going to have more on this story later on DC News Now. Well, police are investigating a shooting that occurred earlier this afternoon. Now, according to police, at around 2 this afternoon, investigators responded to Huntington Avenue where a man was shot. Now, he was transported to a hospital with serious injuries, and after police put out the suspect, the description, they managed to get the suspect into custody. Now, a witness who did not want to be named or to be on camera but saw the whole thing said that she saw what happened from the bus stop nearby with a woman and a man having an argument over money. Then another man pulled up and fired several shots.
And there was the shooter was at the bus stop, went to meet someone who walked off the bus, and then they walked to the corner together. When the victim bent over to pick something up off the ground, when he stood up, the shooter pulled out a gun, shot him. And once the man fell to the ground, and then the shooter shot again. I think it was 5 times, but hit the victim 2 more times. He was shot 3 times. He just put his gun back in his pants, pulled his shirt down, and walked away with the other guy.
And we want to point out that currently Huntington Avenue is closed between Richmond Highway and Blaine Drive as officers continue to investigate. A United flight was diverted to Dulles International Airport this morning due to an unruly passenger. The flight left Newark at 8:20 this morning, and it was forced to land at 10 o'clock because of the disruption. The plane was met at the gate by airport police, fire and rescue, and other law enforcement officials. The passenger was transported to a local hospital after a 3-hour delay in Dulles. The flight continued its trip to its final destination of San Jose, California. The reason for the disruption is still unknown. Well, meteorologist Damon Matson joins us now. And Damon, I've just enjoyed the weather all day. I went to lunch with my boss, and we walked to the restaurant. So it was a pretty cool experience, and I think I established maybe a couple of brownie points. You know how that goes.
There we go. Doing the right thing on that one, Mark, no question. And hopefully a lot of folks have enjoyed the weather thus far today. But now things are going to be hit or miss the rest of this evening. Our colleagues at the Weather Service put it pretty well. We're playing whack-a-mole, basically, with these pop-up downpours here this evening. Notice how they're just scattered about, just bubbling up here and there across the viewing area. We've had some concentrated bits of rainfall back along I-68 in western Maryland at times, and now we're seeing some of that activity right along the I-270 corridor toward the Beltway. Two areas with heavier downpours right now, right over Loudoun County near Leesburg. We've had 1 intense cell going for the last half an hour or so, and another just popped up, go figure, in PG County just to the east of the DC Metro, an area that's been hit hard by rainfall over the last couple of weeks. We've been relatively quiet for about a week, but last Wednesday we were dealing with flooding in some of these same exact locations. So hopefully these downpours can get moving rather quickly here this evening. And other than that, we are looking at things mostly staying quiet. Off to our north, it's a lot more active. They're dealing with some heavier thunderstorms in New York and Pennsylvania. But once we get rid of these heavier downpours here this evening, things are certainly going to be looking up for the next couple of days. There will be a couple of systems, one off over the northeast, another down to our south. But high pressure at the surface is going to start to set up. And once that does take effect, we're going to carve out a nice bit of dry weather here for ourselves on Thursday, and that same high pressure center will continue to stay in place for the day on Friday. Now we're already going to be noticing our next system developing down across the southeast. That will push our direction and possibly make things a little unsettled into the weekend, and we'll be tracking when those rain chances are going to move in, but for the time being, things are looking pretty good as we move forward here into the end of the week.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, the D.C. Department of Health has launched an online dashboard showing data for monkeypox cases and vaccinations. It comes just days after D.C. council members penned a letter requesting the information. One of our newest colleagues, D.C. News Now's Daniel Hamburg, joins us with more. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Mark. D.C. Health says it was already working on the dashboard before hearing from council members. Elected officials hope that transparency and open communication about the virus continues. Right now, D.C. has 350 positive cases of monkeypox. A lot of people still have questions about its spread and vaccine distribution.
We want to make sure that D.C. Health is not only giving information to the targeted communities that are at highest risk for monkeypox, but also to the general public. At-large council member Alyssa Silverman, along with 7 of her colleagues, sent a letter Monday to D.C. Health's interim director asking for better communication and transparency. It's a way for us to keep track of what we're doing and make adjustments if necessary. Today, D.C. Health's monkeypox dashboard went live, showing 28% of cases are in people 30 to 34 years old. Men account for 98% of cases. I'm thrilled that she was so responsive, and as you said, Daniel, her team was already on it. That's great. Let me cheer them on. Great job. While the dashboard includes ward-specific cases, it doesn't show ward-specific vaccinations. Silverman wants to make sure the process is equitable because during the initial COVID vaccine distribution, she heard in Ward 8, which is a majority black ward in our city, there were majority white people lined up to get the vaccine. And in fact, when we requested the data and analyzed it, that was exactly what was going on. So far, there have been more than 16,000 vaccinations in the district. Vaccinations are now open to anyone who's had multiple sexual partners in the past 2 weeks, sex workers, and staff at businesses where sexual activity occurs, all regardless of sexual orientation. Has a dashboard showing a total of 227 cases. Maryland does not have data available online, but CDC data shows 335 cases. I did ask D.C. Health for more specifics about its vaccination plan, but have not heard back. In the studio, Daniel Hamburg, D.C. News Now.
Daniel, thank you. In Frederick County, police arrested a man in Brunswick after they say that they found explosive devices in a backpack. Investigators say 25-year-old Dominic Valenti forced his way into a family member's home and threatened to kill them. They say he held a machete up to one of his family members' throat while pretending to stab them with a steak knife. When police arrived and arrested him, searched his things, and they found 2 explosives. Valenti is currently in Frederick County Detention Center without bond. Well, former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani testified in front of a special grand jury in Georgia earlier today. It's part of a probe into former President Donald Trump's attempt to overturn his 2020 election loss in that state. Now, you may recall Mayor Giuliani was one of his attorneys and he's now a target in the investigation. Back in late 2020, Mayor Giuliani and others presented a video during a state Senate committee meeting. He claimed it showed Georgia election workers producing suitcases of unlawful ballots from unknown sources. Election officials debunked that claim within 24 hours. Well, the content in question is unknown and grand jury proceedings are secret, so no media was allowed in. And the Trump Organization chief financial officer is expected to plead guilty in a tax evasion case. Alan Weisselberg is expected to plead guilty as soon as Thursday. The former CFO is accused of giving off the books compensation to senior executives, including himself. Prosecutors say he did this for more than 15 years, and he's accused of taking more than $1.7 million. Weisselberg is expected to serve a 5-month jail sentence. Well, a Virginia man is arrested on charges linking him to the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Antonio LaMotta is already charged for trying to interfere with the 2020 presidential election. Back in November 2020, investigators say that he and another man drove the Philadelphia Convention Center where votes were being counted. Both men had loaded handguns and several other weapons. Prosecutors believe they were planning a mass shooting. LaMotta now faces federal misdemeanor offenses, including illegal entry and disorderly conduct at a Capitol building on January 6th. Gun buyback. Community leaders in Montgomery County, Maryland, will host an upcoming gun buyback event. Leaders say that this event aims to reduce the presence of guns in schools and in our communities, along with reducing gun-related violence. Now, people can voluntarily turn in firearms, handguns, shotguns, and long rifles to the Rockville City Police Department. Assault-style weapons, privately made weapons, also known as ghost guns, and non-workable guns will also be accepted. It must be unloaded, and identification will not be required. People who turn in a firearm will receive a Visa gift card ranging from $100 to $200. Montgomery County Public Schools superintendent discusses how it will have an impact on schools.
Our schools are a microcosm of our community. So anything that is happening within our community is going to impact our schools. Schools, unfortunately, are not immune from any issues that we're trying to solve as a community, and we must always remember that. With that said, we also know that more guns in our community makes it more likely that a student can get access to it, come across it, and then possibly compromise situations that we're all uncomfortable with. And to me, that is not acceptable.
And the event will be held on August 27th between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at the Rockville City Police Department.